January 18th, 2026. The interception that ended the Bills' season without a second snap. January 18th, 2026. The ball is in the air. Josh Allen drops back, fires to the sideline. Broncos cornerback leaps, snags it, hits the turf. The stadium holds its breath. Replays show the ball scrape the grass. It moves. Under the NFL's catch rule, that should be incomplete. But the officials rule it a catch. Game not stopped. No review. Walt Anderson, the league's rules analyst, later defends the call. The replay official didn't see clear evidence to overturn. Carl Sheffers echoes him. The ball never moved enough to lose control. But the video shows the ball scraping the turf. The Broncos get possession. They drive. Field goal. Game over. The Bills, one of the best defenses in the league, never touch the ball again. That's the overtime rule in action. This isn't an anomaly. It's a pattern. The NFL overtime rule has been broken for decades. In 2022, they changed it for playoff games. Both teams must possess the ball unless the first team scores a touchdown. But a field goal? The game can end without the other offense taking a snap. Exactly what happened to the Bills. Except here, the possession ended on a controversial interception. The rule didn't just fail, it amplified a bad call into a season ender. Fans erupt. Once T fixed the rule trends nationwide. Bleacher Report hints at potential changes to the catch rule, but the core problem is deeper, the overtime structure itself. The coin flip still gives the winner a massive advantage. On September 28, 2025, ESPN asked, is the coin flip strategy broken? Teams winning the toss win more than 55% of the time. But that's just the surface. The real scandal is what the NFL knew. In 2024, they discussed a proposal to eliminate the coin toss altogether. It was tabled, died in committee. Why? Because owners don't want to change what works for them. The Bills aren't the first victims. The Chiefs benefited in 2022 against the Rams. The Vikings lost a playoff game in 2020 without touching the ball. But this time, the robbery was worse. The interception was a glitch. The NFL admits mistakes happen. But they can't admit the rule is unfair. Because if they do, every past champion's legitimacy is questioned. The UFL, a rival league, already fixed it. On April 16, 2026, Dean Blandino announced a new UFL overtime rule. Both teams get the ball no matter what, period. The NFL still clings to its flawed system. A Laredo Morning Times article from October 4, 2025 asked, when will the NFL fix its overtime problem? The answer, not yet. Not until it costs the right team. Think about the stakes. The Bills were denied a chance to play for a title. Josh Allen, one of the most talented quarterbacks in history, watched from the sideline. His season ended on a technicality. A bad rule the league refuses to change. The Broncos didn't cheat, they played the rules. But the rules are broken. This isn't just about one game. It's about the integrity of the entire postseason. Every playoff OT now carries this shadow. Teams strategize differently, they'll defer, they'll do whatever they can. But the coin flip remains the kingmaker, and the NFL knows it. They issue statements about process. Walt Anderson goes on TV to explain the catch rule. But the deeper truth is that the overtime rule is a scandal waiting to explode, and it already has. The Bills lost, but the game itself lost more. Trust erodes, fans feel cheated. Yet the NFL does nothing until the next disaster. Maybe it'll be the Cowboys, maybe the Packers, maybe your team. That's the real horror. This will happen again. The rule hasn't been fixed because secretly the league doesn't want it fixed. It creates drama, it creates controversy, it creates clicks. But for the players who give everything, it's a betrayal. Josh Allen's legacy is now stained by a rule he couldn't control. The Bills' entire season reduced to a coin flip and a bad call. And the NFL? They'll wait until public pressure forces their hand. When will that happen? When the Super Bowl is decided by the same broken rule. Then the world will see. Then maybe, finally, change will come. But until then, every playoff OT is a ticking time bomb. The Bills are just the first domino, or the latest in a long line. The question everyone should be asking, how many more teams will be sacrificed? The NFL has a choice, protect the rule or protect the game. They've made their decision clear, and that's the real tragedy, not the interception, not the missed call, the rule that made it all matter, and yet the NFL doubled down. Walt Anderson came out, explained why they didn't stop the game, basically said the play happened too fast. Too fast to get it right? That's the defense? Carl Sheffers backed it up. The interception stood because the ruling on the field was that it was a catch. Even though everyone watching saw the ball move, the process wasn't completed. The league's own definition says a receiver must maintain control through the ground, but not if the ground helps cause the incompletion, only if the receiver uses the ground to secure the catch. In that split second, they decided he didn't. But here's the dirty secret. The rule is so convoluted that even the refs can't agree on what they saw, so they just let it ride. The system trusts the initial ruling more than the evidence. A philosophy that's gotten people killed on the field, but in overtime, it just ends seasons. The rumor mill says the NFL might change the catch rule again. Bleacher Report reported whispers of a fix, but they've been whispering that for years. Every time a playoff game ends on a technicality, they promise to look at it. Then they change a few words, the ambiguity remains, and the next victim steps up. Meanwhile, the UFL beat them to it. Dean Blandino, the same guy who used to defend these rules in the NFL, announced a change after a Week 3 overtime controversy. The UFL looked at the same mess and said, "Nah, we can do better." They actually fixed their overtime. The NFL, still waiting. And the coin toss. The whole coin flip strategy debate. ESPN ran a piece in September 2025 asking big questions about whether teams should defer or receive under the new rules. The answer is always the same: take the ball. Because the only way to not get screwed is to not let the other team have the ball. That's not strategy. That's survival. Nobody likes ties. The Laredo Morning Times put it bluntly in October 2025, nobody likes ties, and when will the NFL fix overtime? The article pointed out that the current system punishes both teams. The loser feels cheated, the winner knows they got lucky. Even the champs walk away with an asterisk. This isn't about one bad call. It's about a system that guarantees controversy. Every year, a playoff game ends with a dagger. The Bills are just the latest. They won't be the last. The NFL has a choice, but they made it. They chose the rule. They chose to protect the refs. They chose to protect the status quo. And that's the real tragedy, not the interception, not the missed call, the rule that made it all matter, and the knowledge that next year it'll happen again, because the league isn't in the business of fairness. It's in the business of control. The current system gives broadcasters a guaranteed dramatic finish. Advertisers love it. The NFL knows a clean overtime doesn't spark water cooler talk, but a controversial one? That's gold. They're not ignoring the problem, they're monetizing it. Every hot take, every debate, every article like this one, it's free promotion. The Bills' interception call wasn't a mistake, it was a feature. Walt Anderson went on TV to explain why they didn't stop the game, and his reasoning collapsed under scrutiny. He said the ruling on the field wasn't clearly wrong, but how could anyone know when the play wasn't reviewed? The league's own protocols mandate a review for scoring plays and turnovers. That interception was a turnover. It should have been reviewed automatically, but it wasn't, because the refs ruled it a catch, and the system trusts the refs more than the truth. The UFL fixed the same problem in real time. Dean Blandino admitted the old rule had loopholes. He didn't defend it, he changed it. The NFL's response? Crickets. They'll form a competition committee. They'll hold meetings, they'll draft a report, and next January, when another team gets robbed, they'll promise to study it again. The Bills' season didn't end because of a bad call. It ended because the league chose a system that allows bad calls to decide playoff games. And until fans stop watching, stop tweeting, stop caring, the NFL will keep the rule. Because controversy sells. And justice is just a footnote. Next year, it'll be someone else. Maybe your team.